Welcome everyone, it's Musa Ansar on my way to work again. This is like the only time I get to record anything apparently. But I was on YouTube today as I usually am. I'm like a fanatic with some of those things. It's crazy, it's addictive. But I ran across Smithsonian, what is it called? The Natural Museum of African American History or something like that. I ran across their Yahoo page and Miss Jill Scott, an interview that they did with her, like in front of audience, and it just seriously it confirmed what I already knew about the sister, which is that she is fierce. Okay, there's like no other word I can think of to describe what I think of Jill Scott, but fierce, and she's just like such an awesome artist to me, and humble, and she gives back. She's a poet, you know what I'm saying? That's me right there. That's my thing, I'm a writer. And I haven't performed in many of them since before, like marriage and a bunch of babies and businesses and all that. That was my thing back in Jersey. But yeah, she's just like so cool. And the thing for me, like I said, I think she's an awesome writer. Me being into words, like a wordsmith, if you will. I always listen to lyrics and music. Like, I never understand how people are like, well, I don't know what they talking about. I don't even care. Like, I'm just listening to the music. Like, can you just like listen to just the music of a song, the message? It's about the message to me. But anyway, but when Jill Scott is like how Whitney Houston is for me. I can just think of one of her songs and I get emotionally moved. Like, I can really just start crying and just thinking about, a song of hers and, her singing it and whatnot. And I guess the one that keeps sticking out to me is, what is that? What's her ex-husband's name? Lizette? You know what I'm talking about. He Loves Me. That song for me, I can remember when I was younger, I was like thoroughly in love with this brother. And alhamdulillah, I wasn't meant to be. Like, we never married or anything like that, but I was thoroughly in love with him. And I remember that song coming on like BLS, or maybe it could have been Kids back then, because R&B station don't exist anymore down there. Well, it was one of those, like the Quiet Storm, so I guess it's BLS. And that song came on, and I just sat in the car and I cried. And that's the effect she has on me. But she's just dope. You know what I'm saying? And me being a person, I'm very into biographies, certainly autobiographies, and I just love people. I love learning people. I love learning what people who are successful, especially who have successfully kind of navigated this space down here that we have to be in on earth. What did they do? Like, how did they raise their children successfully? How they get to be where they are right now? I just love it, which is one of the reasons why I love working in geriatric care. Like taking care of the elderly, because they're just so awesome. Learning with somebody, their life, and time is like fast. As Allah tells us, time is just so fast. But that's something different. I guess I'll run my mouth about that another time. But she gave such an in-depth profile, I guess, of who she is, where she came from, and stuff like that. Why certain songs were written like golden, like what that was really about, and things of that nature. And me being an African American woman, I'm just so into my sisters, you know what I'm saying? I want to know, like, what y'all do? Like, what can I do? Because we may be, different faiths or religions or beliefs or whatever, but the gist of it to me, the gist of it is the same. We come from the same world. We have the same difficulties with our, worrying about our sons, living, just all sorts of things. And still, we have that same thing. We have that connection. And, going way back to Mother Africa. And, certainly when we were, our people were kidnapped and brought over here. We lived together, the Muslims and the, non-Muslims or whatever. And we lived together as one. Me growing up, we lived together as one. And in my family, we grow together as one. And so she says, I don't know, man. She's just fierce, and I just have to say that. And again, her music, her voice is so amazing. I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. And it's like funny to me when people like Muslims and I guess other religious folk like Chinese, I'm talking about Chinese, church folk back in the day, I can remember them saying like, not to me, but to their own. Like, you can't stop listening to that devil music and stuff like that. Now that's back in the day, and in Islam we have that same dynamic. You can't listen to music, you can't sing, you can't do this, you can't do that. Now, I mean, the jury is still out one way or the other. I do reading on it. Some, scholars and some, the old, what's the word? Some people who, research and write books and stuff like that on this subject. You have both sides. So you certainly have people saying like, no, astaghfirullah, you can't listen to the music, all that kind of thing. And, you can't sing. But to me, it's like ridiculous because the Quran, people, when you chant it and when you, time isn't really for it. When you recite it appropriately, it's sung. I don't know how people have that disconnect. It is sung. The adhan, the iqama, they are sung. I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand why people, how they say that's not singing. It's sung. But anyway, and of course, you have hadith in Bukhari and Muslim. I think it's number 34. Hadith number 34. It was not 34. I'm sorry, I gotta look that up. Maybe I'll put it in the description box once I get home and look it up. But when Aisha said that one day she wanted to go and like look at the people, they were outside doing their thing, like dancing and playing their drum or whatever, and the Prophet Islam took her out there and they like watched until she was satiated, and then he's like, okay. Then she said she was done. He said, go on ahead and decide. And those were African people. They were a tribe of Africans who were doing their thing. And of course it was acceptable. It wasn't just like, oh, it was acceptable for them, the black people, that's what they do. Like, what always irks me when people talk about Bilal, how he's, they always say, he was a black slave, right? Fool, shut up. Yeah, he got caught up in slavery at a point, but that wasn't the gist of him. He wasn't just some black dude who was a slave and had a beautiful voice, and the Prophet was like, oh, go and do the call of the thumb. You know what I'm saying? It was much more than that. In fact, this hadith, again, I don't have it on me, but this hadith that talks about when the Prophet, took flight, and went to heaven, and he heard footsteps, and he asked, like, who are those footsteps? And they said, it's Bilal. So it just gets on my nerves. You only hear about black people once in a while, and usually it's like Bilal or something like that. But anyway, getting back to the point, and there were lots and lots of great African Muslims. Okay. Anyway, so when I hear people say that, and me knowing how singing makes me feel, and how hearing it makes me feel, and knowing how singing has gotten many of folks, certainly our people, through some hellish times. To me, in my mind, in my logical space, singing is from the soul, is a gift from Allah, and is one of the things that get us through here in this hellhole of earth, while we have to be here, while we're trying to make our way back home to Jannah, to Allah. And Miss Jill Scott, honey, has it. And like I said, I just think she is so awesome, just as a person. Listening to her, she's cool. I think she's a good role model, that kind of thing. I prefer her natural. But whatever she got going on, her hair is, that's her. Whatever. We've also been given the gift of will, so we do what we do. But her essence just seems so very beautiful to me, and I just had to give a shout out to a sister. Recognize somebody, because we need that. We need to know that we love each other, we respect each other, we appreciate each other. And not that I think she'll ever see this, but just putting it out there to other people, to, for us to remember to share the love with one another. We only have each other, period. I don't care what religion we are. I don't care how we dress. I don't care how we wear our hair. We only have each other. So, Assalamu alaikum. I have got to go. I got 1 minute to clock in. Assalamu alaikum.